can now find an interactive map online of confirmed COVID-19 cases in Ontario schools. A global education expert launched the map, which she says will help increase transparency in school communities and the general public.
I think one of the primary value adds of this data is to actually show what the school population is like. It tells you, for example, what proportion of children are from low-income households, what proportion. We don't have data on racial composition, which we know is very important to understanding COVID, but we do have low income, for example, and we do have university educated parents. Both of those are strong correlations in terms of just general education outcomes. We know that in schools where there are a large proportion of children, low income parents without university education, they are more at risk of a number of other issues in terms of going forward.
Associate Professor of Global Education at Western University, Prachi Srivastava, says there has been a lot of discussion when it comes to keeping schools open. She says it isn't a one-size-fits-all solution, and this map isn't meant to make that decision. Srivastava adds the effects of COVID-19 are more extreme on high-risk communities. That includes schools that are in those areas. The map shows helpful information and factors to identify which schools need the most help.
How do we help those schools? And using the demographic data should be one way of prioritizing extra resources to schools that have been affected by COVID, either by numbers of cases or by school closures, to make sure that schools that have high proportions of low-income populations and living in communities that are disproportionately affected by COVID get extra supplementary resources.
Srivastava adds extra resources should be allocated to schools with high COVID cases, not just this year, but next year as well. If you would like to take a look at the map, you could do so at COVID-19schooldashboard.com. Maleeha Sheikh, City News.